Yo, what's up guys? So today, by popular request, I'm finally going to be showing you all how to make songs like the shoegaze and dream pop band Slowdive. Now, I won't lie, for some reason, I never really liked Slowdive, but about a month or two ago, I thought I'd give them another try, and I'm so glad I did. I'm not sure what changed for me that made it click. Maybe I'm depressed, but I'm happy it did. Slowdive is known for their delay and reverb soaked, dreamy sound that just feels like a psychedelic and melancholy trip. And today, I'm going to show you some tips and tricks to getting their sound. But before we get into that, I want to mention that the best way to support the channel and what I do here is by checking out my online shop, where you can get drum loops, samples, and presets to help make your music. And I've just launched a title fight inspired drum loop pack, which you can check out now. On top of that, to say thanks for all the support on the most recent videos, I've put my drum bundle that includes all of my drum packs 30% on sale. Alright, let's get into the video. So to start off, I think it's pretty obvious that the biggest key to getting a slowdivey sound is having lots and lots of layers of guitars in your track. So let me show you some things you can do for your layers. For the tones, I'll be using my Strat with Amplitude 5 with a Rat distortion, these two delay pedals, going into a jazz chorus amp, which is fairly close to Slowdive's actual setup. The first layer I recorded were these chords with some notes sprinkled in between that sound like this. And then that goes into a B section that sounds like this. I specifically decided to choose some chords that had open strings ringing in them, and I think that's a signature part of the Slowdive sound. Usually they'll use some chords like this, with the open strings ringing out. It just sounds super cool and super huge, especially with all the delay and chorus we have. So moving on to the next part that I recorded, which was this little melody, which by itself sounds pretty boring, but with all the delays on it, it actually sounds pretty cool and complex. So here's what I played. So that was only 3 notes, and already we're getting a pretty cool sound. Now onto the next layer, which is the last of the clean guitars, and it's a second batch of chords, except I'm playing in a much higher register, which creates a nice contrast between the sounds we already have here. So here's what I played. And then into the B section, I have these chords. I also want to mention that for these additional guitar layers, apart from the main rhythm, I have them panned slightly left and right to create a really nice huge stereo sound, which I think is a really good trick for getting that Slowdive sound. Now onto the dirty guitars, and I have 2 tracks which are doubled, which are some harmonics, which I'm playing on the 7th fret of the E string and the 12th fret of the B string, and they sound like this. Now, I'm also bending behind the nut on the guitar to kind of bring the pitch up a little bit and add a little bit of texture. And the final guitar track we have here is just 2 chords that follow the main rhythm that sound like this. and then into the B section. So that's it for all the guitar layers, and now that we're done with arguably the most important part of the track, let's move on to the bass. So for the bass, I used a P bass going into BOD, which I mention in every one of these videos. Go grab it, great free bass plugin. And then I have that going into some compression. And here's how it sounds. So I decided to play something quite groovy there. Nice little bass melody going on. And for the drums, I'm using a combination of this shaker loop I had and Superior Drummer, and I programmed this cool little drum part which goes throughout the whole song. Alright, so the last thing I want to mention is my secret little trick, which is having all your tracks going into a room reverb send track. Here I'm using this really great Analog Obsession plugin for some room reverb, and yeah, it just kind of glues everything together and adds to that really washed out dreamy effect that we're after. So if you guys liked the video, please leave a like and comment. If you really liked it, please consider subscribing. And again, if you want to support the channel, please check out my online shop, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.